You know, when I look around at all the entrepreneurs who are grinding it out, spending 70 to 80 hours per week growing their business, you have to ask yourself the question, at what cost? Hi, my name's Tim Uchuk, and in this podcast, we're going to be exploring the tools, tactics, and strategies for crushing it and scaling your business without making the ultimate sacrifice of your time and freedom. Hey everyone, Tim Uchuk here. It is the day after Christmas at the time of this recording, and I wanted to hop on here and share a practical podcast episode where you can actually you can take action. I'm going to share an exercise and a strategy for really, especially given it's the end of December at the time of this recording. This is going to be something that you can, by the way, utilize at any given time, but it's really timely in terms of the time of this recording, setting yourself up for success, getting yourself into momentum at the start of the year. And I'm going to be talking about a tool that I use, an exercise that I use, which is all around eliminating the habit of procrastination. And in fact, turning procrastination into one of your strengths. And so what I'd like for you to do, if you've got a piece of paper and a pen handy, is we're just going to be capturing, and there's some catharsis, there's some benefit to just getting the stuff out of your head on a paper in and of itself. So what I'd like you to do is just spend some time, capture the things that are on your mind that you'd like to get done. And it could be 10 items, it could be 20. Capture all those items and just get them out of your head, so they're not floating around there anymore. The second thing I want you to do is write a number next to them in order of least desirable, so things that you would rather not want to do, to most desirable. So least desirable item on that list would get the number 1, and you're going to keep going until you get to the end. So least desirable to most desirable. And then the second thing that I want you to do is grab the top 3, so 1, 2, and 3 least desirable activities that are on that list. So things that you would just really not rather do at this point in time. And so for those, put a star next to them. And what I want you to do is, for the coming week, the first week after the new year, and again, if you're doing this and it's not the new year, just pick the next week, the next work week ahead, and literally grab 3 slots in the calendar for the week. So pick a time and a day where you can devote 30 minutes to an hour, block it, and I want you to write in that a specific action step that you can take for each of these 3 items to move it forward. So not to complete these 3 items, but what is a specific action you can take and you can commit to taking. Describe it, put it in your calendar, and block off the time, and just make it an absolute sacred contract with yourself to commit to just taking and it could be a baby step. It does not need to be big, but just move those forward incrementally in a small way. So figure out for these 3 things that you really are least desirable, you really have been putting off, perhaps procrastinating. And by the way, when it comes to procrastinating, if you're a human being, you do it. We all procrastinate, myself included. So when you do this, we're invoking what is known as it's called Grandma's Law, talked about it before, or the Premack Principle. And the Premack Principle states that when you move in the order from least desirable to more desirable, in other words, you're setting up rewards for yourself when you achieve certain activities. It's called Grandma's Law, by the way, because we put a cookie in front of a kid, and guess what? They eat their vegetables. So the same thing, when you start to tackle these things that are least desirable, and you're starting with the least to most, you're going to be setting yourself up to be working on and seeing ahead of you tasks and activities that are more and more so increasingly desirable for you. So you're getting like a positive feedback loop going. But if you start the year off by just committing to getting these things done off your plate, not necessarily completing them, but moving in that direction, and make it tangible, create a little contract by actually carving out time in your calendar closing your door and specify the next action that you'd like to take on these three activities. So this is a short podcast episode, but this is a exercise whenever you feel like you're in a funk. This is just going to really help you to, at the end of the week, feel like you've actually moved the needle. And there's probably a reason why you haven't taken action on these things. And I'm not placing judgment. We all have them. But start by getting those things out of your brain, get them onto a piece of paper, mark down the first three, come up with three simple, small actions that you can take to move forward, make some forward momentum progress on these three things that you might be putting off that are least desirable, and do the same for the next week and the next week. And you're going to start working down that list. And believe me, you're going to feel really, really good. There's going to be some stuff that's been just kind of sitting in the back of your head, some weight on your shoulders, perhaps some guilt that will be chipped away at. And before you know it, January will be gone and you will feel amazing, and you will have built a habit to make you less inclined to procrastinate on these things. And you're going to be setting up again, a positive feedback loop. So hope that's helpful. I'm at the grocery store. I want to share that exercise with you, especially given the time being the end of December. And I will talk to you all soon. Hey, Tim Uchuk here, and real quick, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, if you could take a couple quick seconds to give it a rating, it would be very much appreciated. And secondly, if you're looking for more tools and strategies on how you can crush it in life and business, just head on over to bookwithtim.com, where I've put together a free case study which shows you how to unlock unprecedented freedom today by using the 2 power levers. Just head on over to bookwithtim.com. Until next time, wishing you success and freedom in your business. Cheers.